Okay. I'm gonna turn on the mic for over here. And so what I want to do now is this. When this dried, it dried like kind of bland. The fur, I like it. It's not bad, but it's a little bit bland. I want to add um, some more brightness to it. A little more brightness. Give me some more brightness. I think what we were using was the Carrick Stone. So I'm gonna use some pure Carrick Stone and try and get a good highlight on these. There's not really any Carrick Stone there. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. This color right here. It's almost like gray. It's almost like brown. It's a really good base color. It has a lot of like earthy tones in it. It's like kind of warm but kind of cool. You can do a lot with it. So try and do right now is make some really clear, clean edge highlights. That's what I was trying to do yesterday. And yesterday, for some reason, I was struggling with it a little bit. To make it as clean and as clear as I really wanted it to be. On each of these little feathers. And the idea being that if we do it well, each little feather will really kind of pop out. As its own unique thing. It'll stand out and look really cool. And not just look like kind of a brown mess. We talked a lot about this, so I'm not going to go over it again. But readability, readability, readability. We'll say it. I actually like painting fur. It's funny because the ropes drive me crazy, but the fur, even though it's just as tedious, requires the same level of attention. There's just certain things that feel good. Some things feel good, others don't. You know what I'm saying? It's the way of the world. Some things feel good, and others do not. And really try and go in here and get all of them. Because we're not trying to make... If you watched earlier when I was first talking about my idea for it, I'm not trying to make the highlights, so to speak, like light based. I want them to almost be intrinsic to the fur themselves. So the highlights should be equally on things in the light and in the dark. Granted, in the dark, in the shadows, they would be a little bit lighter. That's really hard to get that subtlety. And I'm going to err on I'm gonna err on not going with the light at all for this section instead of the other way to really make it look like this is just the way the fur looks. This is the color of the fur. The fur is multicolored, brownish, warm, cool, gray. Warm, cool. I don't know what that even means. But that's what's cool about Carrick Stone. I think there's like a warmth to it, but there's also a coolness to it. And that might sound insane, but you know what? I'll stand by it any day. That's why Carrick Stone is used so frequently. Such a good color. I think if I technically had to answer if it was a warm color or a cool color, it would probably be a cool color. It's got like sort of greenish hues in it. I understand that that's like gonna be generally more of a cool color, like 9 times out of 10. That doesn't take away the feeling I get with Carrick Stone. That's a little bit warm. Something soft about it. That's comforting almost. Now we're getting into some weird psychological shit, I think. It's warm because this color soothes me. Alright. Look how much that pops. Like, look at that fur now. It's not gray at all. Sometimes the saturation is messed up on this camera, which is fine. That's getting close to right. It's not white, like that's gray, his beard. You can see here how the color is. It's just kind of this cool, like, I really like how it's turning out. Yesterday I did not like how it was turning out. But I think this highlight, this addition of more of the Carrick Stone, more of this popping out color is bringing it to life for me. It was a little bit too muted before. And call me crazy, but I was actually thinking that if this looked good, I might even give like a highlight, an additional highlight of like Screaming Skull on top of it, which is close to white. And that would just be where the light hits. Just to really emphasize and make these stick out. The only thing I'd be afraid of would be it eventually looking too much like a gray. Or losing some of this sort of fur color that I think I'm starting to really hone in on right now. This combination of colors to me right now really like reads to me as fur. When I look at this, I think about, you know, like a wolf pelt, a dire wolf. Yeah, I think that fur looks great. Super happy with how that turned out. Now I have to do these ropes on the back because I need to make sure that they are distinguished clearly from this fur. Because they are not the same. But to be fair, their undercoat is the same. So right now they are the same. So when I say they're not the same, I'm lying. What I mean is, they're not meant to be the same. So we're gonna do. Final layer on this rope. Brighten it up. Oh no. It's okay. Bring it up to its final color. This is kind of messy. I'm making a mess. Trying to do this in camera is perpetually impossible. Something I struggle with literally every time I paint. So I apologize for bringing it up literally every time I paint, but man, it is hard. Okay, last time I was having these difficulties, I told myself, you're struggling, oh, I need new paint. This paint that I'm using is days old. It's just been sitting there forever. And it is, not coming off the brush the way I want it to. A little fresh paint. That's why I'm making mistakes and I'm being messy. It just doesn't flow off the brush. And then it doesn't cover well. You can't control it very well. So much better. Now you can kind of see the difference between the fur and the robe. Before, they were very similar colors. Now we're highlighting, emphasizing those differences, that they are not indeed the same color at all. Nice. Looking good. There's so many ropes. Every time I paint, I feel like I end up on ropes. And every video title is like, more ropes? Because they just never end. This guy has ropes everywhere. Because now I'm sitting here going, well, I did those ropes, but Should I now do all these ropes on his back? I think, frankly, the answer is probably yes, because I already have the Carrick Stone out, and I have this color out. I mean, look, all the ropes have to get done. Maybe I just have to accept it. Stop fighting the ropes. Accept that ropes is my future. Ropes is my life. I have no life outside of ropes. I know no life beyond ropes. Okay, that's looking really good. Yeah, loving it. Not loving all the ropes I'm about to paint. Thinking about doing more of this. But, it will be a big upgrade. So, what I'm talking about is the ropes on his back here. Also still need to be painted, and I have the colors fresh because it's Carrick Stone and the Screaming Skull, so I guess I'm here and I guess I'm roping. Okay. The good news is I'm getting much better at the ropes. Bad news is because I've spent so much of my goddamn time doing them. And, you know, I'd have much rather done a lot of other things. I don't know why I dislike painting ropes so much. It's not more tedious than other parts. And I like the tediousness of painting. Forces me to just slow my brain down and focus on one little thing at a time. Something I've always said. Is this light on? Is this light dead? I need to charge it. Lame. That being said, it would be a lie to say that I like painting ropes, because I hate painting all these ropes. Ugh. This rope under his arm is like... That is such a hard place to paint. It's crazy. Already made a mistake. I'm gonna have to go back and highlight it still. Fun stuff. Making mistakes painting ropes. Okay. That does look more complete, at least. I feel like while I'm at it, I might as well do the stitching on the back. Since it's all the same colors. And every little piece that I do, as much as I'm complaining about it, makes it better. Stands out more, it looks cooler, looks more real, looks more finished. Makes it more readable. Brings this character to life I've been working on for a long time now. A very long time now. I feel like I'll be working on him till the end of time. Sorry, I'm not saying anything. I'm just really focused. There's only a couple more left. Try not to mess them up because these ones are really small. And they are right in the thick of it. In a place where I don't want to have to redo. Ugh, while I'm at it, should I do those ropes hanging off his waist? God damn it. It never ends. It's like, oh, while I'm at it, I'll do this one. While I'm at it, I'll do that one. While I'm at it, I'll find a whole bunch more that I need to do. I think this one's actually going to be pretty hard to get right because even though it's just like the other ropes in theory, it's much more three-dimensional. Meaning you can see more sides of it. Which ultimately just means you can't just do like a strip. You have to literally paint all the sides of it, and I already just made a mistake trying to do so. Much more labor intensive, much more careful. Way more room for error. And it is not in a location that is like painting friendly. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like a long string coming off of the brush. Got a hair caught in it. A dog hair. Cody. You're a good boy. Sorry, he's laying under my desk and he heard me say his name and looked at me like, what'd I do? Alright, so besides this not being perfect, like we made a couple of mistakes, it's ultimately coming out okay. In such a way that I don't really have too many complaints about it. Would have liked it to maybe be a little bit cleaner, but you know, nothing for me to really complain about. The rope really sticks out a lot better down here. Now I just need to go over it all with the highlight. And I'm thinking now that I see the fur, but I might take some Carrick Stone and mix it with the Screaming Skull and do another little highlight like I was talking about. I don't want it to turn into the rope color, but I do like that brightness. It looks good. It looks nice. Anyway, we're going to go back to the Screaming Skull and touch up the final highlight on the ropes we just did. So we can officially call it a day for them. On this highlight, we don't have to go 360 around the way we did the other one. This is more of just an actual true highlight. There's areas where it's okay for it to not be this color at all. Where the rope would be darker, or it would be in the shade. Shadow. Really just trying to give it help it pop out like that. Stand out from the other colors. Same with the stitching. Just a little dab on each of the stitches. Hopefully a controlled dab and not just what I just did. But that's why we're not great at this. We lack both the patience and the talent. But fuck it, we go anyway. All right. I think we got it all. I don't remember if we did these, but it looked like we did. I guess not. Okay. Chill out. My hands started shaking really hard there for a second. It's interesting how your body sort of compensates for handshakes. There's nothing you can do to avoid handshakes entirely. But it is interesting how, like, when you've been doing it for a while, your body kind of knows when to go. I don't shoot guns, but I imagine there's something similar. I know that, like, people who shoot guns a lot talk about shooting between your breaths. And that it becomes natural after a while. You literally shoot the gun, or between heartbeats, even. Between breaths and sometimes between heartbeats. Seems crazy to me how I would, like, pull a trigger between those things. But I can kind of understand it doing this because my hands shake. Everybody's hands shake a little bit. I have fairly steady hands. But when your hands shake and you're doing this, after doing it for a while, you kind of intrinsically know when to go in and put the paint down. Like, sometimes I'm moving towards it with the paint while my hand is shaking, knowing that, like, in a second, it's gonna stop. And it'll be still for a minute. Just long enough for me to do the painting I need to do. Again, not a perfect analogy. Sure, it's different. I'm not somebody who is familiar or skilled with firing weapons, but going off the stories that I've heard. Alright. The only other thing I could do right now is potentially do this fur to match this fur, but I think we've done a good job for now. I like where we are at this moment. I think next, I'm not going to do these ropes yet. Wait, I was supposed to do those ropes. I'm going to do those ropes. Okay. I lied. We're not done. I have fresh paint out. I'm going to use it. If I had run out of paint, I would not put more paint on to do these ropes. But fortunately, I did not run out of paint, so I have plenty to do this still on the palette. hilarious. My brain just does not want to do these ropes at all. Okay. I didn't want to do it, but it didn't take that long, and it does look good. So I'm pretty good with that. I think at some point I am going to have to probably wash the ropes a little bit, or at least the stitches. A little bit with maybe like a brownish color. Um, because the cloth that they're stitching together is so worn and colored that it makes the stitches stand out like almost too much. I think I like the ropes being bright, so I might just wash the stitches and not wash the ropes. Let the ropes be bright, even if it's slightly artificial. Now I'm looking at the ropes in his arm, and the other arm, and saying, should I just do them? But no, I refuse. I refuse. Nice. We made good progress on that too. Made good progress with the chest. Made good progress with that. This needs to charge. Where's the what does this plug into? Some sort of thing on here. It's gotta plug in somewhere. Oh, is it just batteries? Looks like there might be a battery pack in here. Ah. Definitely something comes off here. Watch me rip the whole thing apart and it destroys. Something happens somewhere. Oh, no, there's a charger. Do I have something like that, even? I've got to. Somewhere. Surely. I don't believe. Oh, yeah, I got one back here. Okay, now the trick will be, can I remember tomorrow? Will I be able to remember tomorrow that I put it back there to charge behind my monitor? I feel like the answer to that is definitely not. But, what are you gonna do? Fucking Grimmy Bear, oh shit Pog, used to make these years ago. The paints are sick, don't be lazy. That mane looks pretty big. Are they bigger in general or has it been just huge? I've been painting ropes, so I wasn't reading chat. I don't know if you're still in here, Grimmy. Fuck. But, he's big. He's very big. Sorry. I was not reading chat because I was really focused. Yeah, I can read chat. Fuck you. Fuck you. No. Like, here, let me give you an example. Like, I painted this a while ago, so don't be judgmental. This is a normal size, like, champion. Right? And then, like, here is, like, not a champion, but, like, a regular special-ish a special guy. Okay. He's like a ah. He's like a yeah. So I make like custom bases and stuff, but and then here is like this is unfinished completely, but here's a normal size figure. Put it in a place where you can see it. And then here's like a small size figure. So those are the scales. So the guy that I'm painting right now is called a Mega Gargant. So yeah, like significantly larger than pretty much everything. He's basically like a fantasy version of a warship, if that makes sense. Because he is kind of like a warship. He's just a huge giant. These are like a standard like Chaos Soldier, not Chaos Soldier, Slaves of Darkness Soldier. These are this new race that I fucking hate, but I painted one for a little competition. I wish this camera got a little bit better, but this I just painted and made because I really like this character. He was super cool. Like a little ghost coming out of this thing, and this is like your standard champion, whatever, you know, the yada yada. So, yes. And you ask, is he just really big? Yes, he's enormous. It's not you. I mean, you can see even just like this is a champion, and this is just like his weapon, right? Like this hang goes on this guy. Like this is gonna go like this off this guy. So yeah, he's basically a fucking warship all in one. I haven't seen you around, Grimmy. I stream like every day now. I've been streaming every day for a couple weeks. But you're probably like barely awake ever in your life. So, you know, I totally get it. These things still super expensive. I remember the small one that I got being really... Yeah, I mean, as an adult, they're not really expensive. But, like, that's not true. Even as an adult, they're kind of expensive. Like this figure... Let's use that way. That figure is like... I think he was like $100, $120. Now, granted, you saw how big he is. So he's like... Painting him is like the equivalent of painting an entire regiment. You wouldn't know about being an adult. I bet you wouldn't. But you can get, you can get 6, 10, 12 guys for $60, depending on what you're getting. But they're not cheap. I mean, it's not like $20 per. I have thought a lot about, because like I don't play Warhammer, so I just like to paint. So I have thought like numerous times like the small guy. Yeah, so I mean like the champion I showed you is like $40 and he's not that big. But no, like the little guys, unless they're like a named character, sometimes they're like $20. But even then, usually like not. It's usually like $12, $15 for like a special named character. But yeah, yeah, it's not too bad. As a kid, it felt like prohibitively expensive, right? I would get some like occasionally when my parents would let me or whatever, or they would buy something for me, or I would get them for Christmas. But now I just have like boxes. Like over here, I have like just I can't even like these are things I painted. Those boxes there. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a stack of boxes of, and these are minis that I painted. But then like, that's literally just a stack of boxes. And those boxes are just minis that I haven't painted yet. So the thing is, my family knows I love to paint them, so they just buy them for me for Christmas and stuff. So I get a bunch of them. I just get endless amounts of them. So I have a bunch of like really big ones to paint. So I have ones that are like bigger than this guy. So I've just been doing big ones lately and just taking like a really long time and doing a really good job with them. Remember we had a few figures wanting a bunch of paint colors that I couldn't afford. Yeah, the paints get like prohibitively expensive. So the paints are actually worse. See, like, that's like a custom paint rack that I made. Literally like drilled out the holes and everything, but like each of those paints is like, I don't know, $5 or something. And there's like 50 or something there. And I don't even have like, I honestly don't even have that many paints. There's people who have just racks and racks and racks and racks of paints. And certain paints that I go through a lot, like I just burn through. And all those brushes, I mean the brushes on the near side, like here, not all the way over there, but on here, like were really expensive, like $100 for 6 brushes. So you get the really good brushes that can be like very, very detail oriented. The dark silvery gunmetal, yeah. Did you use the metallic gunmetal? Or did you use like gunmetal, just like gunmetal gray? I have hold on, I think I can show you. Let me see. For metallic paints, I have like the ones I really like are like this. Pretty sure it's metallic, yeah. So like there's like this lead belcher, which is a pretty cool, like a nice dark one. This one's even darker. This one is Iron Warriors. It's like a really dark silver. I really like this one. I don't use metallic paints anymore, but this Stormhost Silver is a pretty awesome color. It's interesting. But yeah, I stopped using metallic paints. And I've been doing non-metallic metal. Like, for example, all this gold and stuff and this silver here. Like, all of these highlights are painted on. There's nothing shiny about them at all. So it doesn't matter like if they're in the shade or not in the light. It allows you to do a lot of really cool things, but it's really hard to paint that way. Like this is literally just like white in this corner where it looks like it's gleaming. And this is just like a dark brown. And blending it all in is like super hard to do. But, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning. And I think the results are awesome. It takes so long, but the results are super cool in comparison to just slapping metallic paints on there. But I agree, metallic paints have some cool colors and you can do a lot of cool things with them, and then just like sort of paint it and forget it. Just slap it on and forget it. Thanks, man. Yeah, the skin's taken a long time. I'm not done at all, but, you know, between trying to get like the reddish correct, on the neck and the bright parts of his head where it hits, and then like his knees. Yeah, it's been a long process that I've been working on it. So. But I appreciate it. That's kind of you. Yeah, so that's that thing.